Hi. Sorry, it's been a while since I actually did an update. I've just been kind of adrift, really. Um, I know that I've had the pre-recorded videos going on for a while now, and they'll probably be going strong for a while. Um, but I just kind of wanted to give a little bit of an update of what's going on, with regards to everything. Um, where do I even begin? Let's start with the last update. I think I did that in either late October or early November. I think it was one of those two. But I know that I had finished the third part, or at least a third of the Hunter and the Cultist redrafting, basically like doing my developmental edits. Um, and I'm still very much in that, but I'm not at the second third. I'm actually maybe only about halfway. Um, and a lot of it has to do with November and how much of a goddamn shit show it's been emotionally. Um, like, first week was election and everything, and all the fallout from that. And it was I had so much trouble actually working and getting things together that I think I only worked about 5 total days. And it didn't help that the majority of that time my computer refused to work for me. So I couldn't use my desktop very much because the internet just refused to work for me. And when you're doing redrafts, you do sometimes have to go onto the internet. And going on my phone was also not conducive because I needed to put it into my notes. And it sucked. So ended up having to get a new computer. Um, and we also had our PlayStation start screwing up. So we were trying desperately to get that fixed, but we're still dealing with that as of November 30th. Um, but it's been kind of tiring. Um, and I did have some kind of like self doubt moments when I was doing this. Because when I first started the drafting process, I sent my book out to multiple friends who I thought could read it relatively quickly and give me back feedback. We're sitting at the end of November, and I have still yet to get anything back. Now, logical side of my brain says, well, I'm struggling because of everything that's going on, and everyone else is also struggling because of what's going on. So I can't be completely mad about it. But it's like, I forced myself to work in October. November, I fell off the wagon because of everything going on. And it's like, no one could even give me, like, even a little bit. I had 2 people that had even read the beginning, and they were 2 of my best friends who I talked to very frequently. And they were the only ones so far that have given me any kind of feedback. And it's feedback I've already gotten. So it's like, it's frustrating. And I had a couple moments where it's like, is my book so unreadable that no one can get through it? Now I know logically that doesn't make sense, because if that were the case, they would have at least told me. And I know that a lot of it has to do with what's going on right now and everything and the pandemic. So I'm trying not to beat myself up so much. It's difficult. because it just, unlike with the Reaper series, this one is one that I know I want to get right. And the Reaper series I wrote primarily for myself and like my past self. But with The Hunter and the Cultist, I'm actually doing something that I love, that I know has an audience that will enjoy it. But I need to know if I'm kind of going on the right trail or if I'm like completely fucking up. I did end up sending out another round of betas to try and get through this, and still I've yet to hear anything back. I'm hoping that I will get something, because I just need someone to read my book and tell me if it's good. I'm sorry. I didn't want to cry during this update. It perfectly exemplifies what my mental state has kind of been. And then, of course, with Thanksgiving, we ultimately made the choice to just stay home and cook with the four of us, and that was fine. It was fun. And we're planning on doing the same thing for Christmas. We've already basically gotten all of our Christmas shopping done, and I'm just struggling a little bit. And I just hope that it gets better. Sorry if you hear banging, someone just went outside the front door. But updates on other things. I have continued working on my 2 side series for the superhero series and for Equinox. October was for working on the superhero one, and then November was working on Equinox, but because of everything going on, I didn't end up working on it too much, so I've now moved it into working on it primarily through December. And so far, they're both doing good. I have about 4.5 or so. I have like 4 chapters, or no, I have 3 chapters and 2 extra scenes written for the superhero one. And then for the Equinox one, I have 1 full chapter and 2 scenes written. Sort of 2 scenes. One of those scenes isn't completed yet. But I have gone ahead and done something a little different with, as far as outlining. I did a video on how I use Save the Cat to write out beat sheets. And what I did was I took those beat sheets and basically mixed them together with the 2 leads and formed them into one while writing out basically the entire story on little note cards. And these are them. It's kind of thick. 51 scenes. And I'm hoping that it makes the drafting process a little easier, because when I was drafting it, I had no idea where I wanted to go with it. As far as the main story, I knew what points I wanted to hit, but I couldn't remember them. So that's kind of where it came from. With the superhero one, I have to do the same thing. I'm going to see if that kind of helps. And so far, I'm really enjoying both stories. I actually now know more about my sci-fi story than I did when I started, because it's a fresh couple, brand new world, and I was a little intimidated because sci-fi is very much big brain kind of energy, but I'm really excited about it. So I'm hoping that it goes well. Let me see. I don't think there's anything else like work related that is needing to be talked about. I will say that my reading has suffered greatly because I've been throwing myself so hard into work, because of the lack of motivation sometimes. So I haven't been able to read as much. Um, and I've done way more rereading of books that I've read before. Like, you can see it on my Goodreads. I've reread Layla Rainey's, wrong book, Leah Remini's book Troublemaker 4 times this year because it was just something that I could put on and just forget about it. And that's not good. It's not getting me to read books that I really want to read. And when I have the opportunity to read, I don't. And that kind of sucks. And the thing is, I'm really enjoying what I'm reading. Like, I have a couple of books that I've been listening to on Audible that are amazing. Like, Alice Winter's How to Vex a Vampire is the funniest story I have ever heard. But I'm like within an hour and a half of finishing it, and I've put off finishing it because for some odd reason I haven't been wanting to finish it. Probably because I don't want it to end, but I know that there's more books that she has out. I've been putting off reading Layla Rainey's Kingslayer because I know that it's got some things in it that are sad. And there's just so many books. But I've got a couple of videos ideas that I'm going to do to try and mitigate it. Especially with my resolutions video. I think I might do some kind of like reacting to it because I have them written down, but I'm curious as to what I said during it. I do know the audio on that is garbage because I didn't realize that when you film directly from onto YouTube, the audio for some odd reason gets off sync with the video. So that's why I've switched to just filming the videos. But yeah. I'm just hoping that things get better from here. I've actually managed to do a lot of drafting in the last week for The Hunter and the Cultist. And with the work that I did on the Equinox story, I'm feeling a lot better, especially now that I got my new computer. I'm feeling a lot better about it. And now that things are starting to die down and, well, at least maybe not the pandemic is dying down because that's going up, but like big earth-shattering things are not happening. Knock on wood. But I'm doing better. I have new things I'm trying for next year, and I hope that they will be stuff that's going to help me. Because, I need the help. Anyway, so thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.